Hey, what is going on you guys, it's Epic here, welcome back to another Wayfinder video. Before this video starts, I should let you know that as always I'm probably live on Twitch streaming Wayfinder, and if I am, you should come and follow us at EpicNNG. Today I'm going to show you guys how to craft what I believe is the strongest weapon in Wayfinder right now, known as the TITAN'S BANE. You're in for quite the ride today. This isn't an easy sword to craft, but I'm going to show you how, so let's get right into it. As always, the things you're going to need for this sword can be seen on screen right now. I have been through the game and farmed for all of these items to make sure that they do drop from these sources, just so that this is as accurate as it can possibly be for you guys. Firstly, you are going to need 3 Optic Cortex. How do you get these? You need to get them from the Dread Legion boss, which is found at the end of the early access campaign. You'll need to progress through your story until you fight the Dread Legion, where you will need to get 3 of these. This sword is basically full endgame. This is not a sword you're going to be going for if you are like level 7. You will need to be right at the end to craft this sword, unless you want to just straight up buy it from the microtransaction store. This thing is not easy to get, and it starts with these 3 Optic Cortex on the Dread Legion boss. Next up, you will need 6 Trickster coins. You can get these from the Trickster event in Eridium. It can also spawn in the Reaver Woods and in the pit. This can spawn basically anywhere, but I've got Eridium in the image here just to make this as easy as humanly possible for you guys. You can get it in Eridium and you can get Trickster coins. You'll need to find the Trickster in any expedition. It cannot be in a boss fight, in an expedition. Go over to the Trickster and play its game until you get 6 Trickster coins. This is going to take you a while to do. You're going to need to do numerous runs to get this, but once you have accrued 6 Trickster coins over time, you will have enough for the recipe. Next up, you will need 3 Treasure Phoenix Down. Luckily, these are a little easier to get. You'll find these from the Treasure Phoenix event in expeditions here. You can do this one again in basically any of them. I've seen it in the Eridium area, I've seen it in the pit and whatnot, and also the Reaver Woods. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get these. You just want to find the Treasure Phoenix event, start the event up. It doesn't matter if it's the Immortal Phoenix or having to kill numerous Phoenixes. At the end of the event, you will get some of these Treasure Phoenix Down ingredients, and you will need 3 of them. You'll know it's the Treasure Phoenix event by the little circular plate on the ground. It could be quite easy to miss, so just keep an eye out. But yes, you will need 3 Treasure Phoenix Downs for the Titan's Bane. Now, moving into the really difficult things you're going to need for this. I know we've already been through difficult stuff, but again, this is an endgame sword. You are going to need even harder things. You are going to have to kill the world boss. For those of you that don't know, there is a world boss in Wayfinder located in the Highlands. I'll show it on my map for you right now. It is right out in the Highlands, and it is next to Ironstone Keep. You can travel to it, and the boss is going to be located just around the side of Ironstone Keep. Now, you are going to need to get the essence for the Titan's Bane from this boss, and also 6 Pyre's torches. Both of them are going to drop from this boss, and be warned, this guy is really difficult. Do not try this solo unless you are like genuinely one-tapping most things in the game. Bring a team with you, try and get a group together. Hell, even try to LFG in the comments of this video. It really doesn't bother me. But this is a very hard boss. He has lots of huge AoE attacks and is very aggressive. Even at endgame, it is a rough boss for me and my group, so just be careful. And one thing to be aware of is that towards the end of the boss fight, when he gets to around 40 to 50k health, he's going to enter a last stand, where he's going to perch up almost in an A or T pose form in the air, and if you do not kill him quick enough, he is either A, going to kill you, or B, fly off and despawn. He has done that for my group before, and it is not fun. Another thing that can happen with this boss is that you actually get disconnected when you try to fight it. This is a known bug from the team at Airship Syndicate. They are going to be working on fixing it, but just be aware that hunting for the Titan's Bane right now is like trying to get Excalibur. I mean, this thing is rough to farm, so just know what you're getting yourself into if you want it. And just before we get to the end here, we have some Spectra you're going to need to get. The first is 108 calcified Spectra. You're going to get this from the Deepwood Halt. I know I've been saying Reaverwoods, but Deepwood Halt is what it's actually called. You'll get this from one of the gates in Deepwood Halt. Again, you should be at endgame if you are going for this sword, and if so, you'll know what I mean. Deepwood Halt, Bone Orchard is where you'll get calcified Spectra by breaking the crystals, opening chests, and killing enemies. And also in the Deepwood Halt, you're going to need to get 54 pristine unstable Spectra. Now, all you've got to do to get your hands on this is do basically any expedition in Deepwood Halt and put a Chaos Mutator on. It doesn't have to be Sphere 2, Sphere 3, or anything like that. Just go into any of the expeditions in the Deepwood Halt and you should be able to get it with a Chaos Mutator on. That's how I've been getting it, and that's how I've seen other people apparently getting it. I believe that is how you get your hands on this. If there are other ways, let me know. And finally, to get the Titan's Bane, you're going to need a total of 32,100 gold. Now, I actually have some updated ways on how you can get your hands on gold in this game from the last guide we did on the Tempest. Once again, as always, it's going to be as simple as farming expeditions on high tier difficulty, as high as you can go, so you can get as much gold from the chest as possible. So in our case, it will be Deepwood Halt and doing stuff just like the woods, or even again Bone Orchard, and put it on a high sphere, and that's where you'll go to open chests and get yourself gold. But also make sure to put on the greed modifier. Again, only one of these is necessary, but you guys did tell me in the last guide that by putting on the greed mutator, you do get more chests in there. So again, if I could get additional confirmation on that in the comments of this video, that would be great. But yes, go into a high level expedition with the greed mutator on and farm away until you have 32,000 gold. Now, once you're done, all that's left to do is come to Arsenal in the Skylight District right here. She's around the middle zone. Now, I'm obviously not going to craft it because I already have it, but you're going to need to craft the shell, the form, the spirit, and then finally, you'll need to craft the Titan's Bane itself. And once you get this, you've got your hands on what is, for my money, the most powerful weapon hands down in Wayfinder right now. This thing is capital B broken. I am not exaggerating. This thing is ridiculously strong, and it's what I'm using in my Wingrave build, which I'll be posting soon because I know you guys have been asking for that. I know this is not an easy sword to craft, and I know I'm going to get a lot of comments talking about how grindy it is. Gamers, I'm going to give you a word of advice here, and I don't want to say this because I know it's going to annoy a lot of people that I'm advocating for it, but straight up, if you want this sword and you don't want to spend a ton of time in game, just go to the damn shop and buy it. I mean, seriously, like, I would not want to go and do this grind right now, especially with the queues and whatnot. So if you are desperate for this weapon, just go and buy the thing, man. I mean, I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is a fun farm. I definitely would not like to suffer through Dread Legion, let alone the world boss, to get these ingredients. So my number one tip for you guys, if you want this sword, just buy it from the store, man. I mean, seriously, this thing is absolutely ridiculous and it is worth grabbing right away. Now, my friends, in terms of the actual ability for the Titan's Bane, let's take a look at it, shall we? The ability is called Molten Cleave, and it says consumes all the momentum to cleave the ground and damage enemies in a line. The resulting cracks will pulse damage over a short period of time after the initial strike. Now, what's interesting about the Titan's Bane is that it doesn't detail what happens if you have numerous charges of momentum. It only says it will consume all momentum. So if anybody knows if this thing, for example, gains extra damage after you use 3 charges, or if it's the same as 1, or maybe it's longer, do let me know in the comment section. But I'll go ahead and show you guys what this thing does right here, my friends. I'm simply going to stack to maximum momentum, and then we are going to use our Molten Cleave ability on this Earthshaker, and as you can see, this thing is an absolute beast. Now, in regards to the Titan's Bane, it's going to start off with a boost to physical defense and mag defense, but that's not really what I go crazy over. What I really like about the Titan's Bane is its echo slots. This thing at level 1 is going to get an attack slot. At level 5, it's going to get a rush slot. At level 15, another attack slot. and then finally at 25 a balance slot. If you really want to specialize right now in high damage, I would really recommend getting this weapon because again, you get the 2 attack slots right there, which is incredibly handy for all of your attack echoes that you might be saving up. And now into your affinity tab here, this is where things get really special. In the instinct tab, you are going to get a boost to weapon power and ability power. In the discipline tab, you're going to get a boost in crit rating and crit power, very good for this weapon. And finally in focus, physical defense and mag defense, but with that boost it really just isn't all that necessary in my eyes. But it's not all about my build, it's about yours as well, so pick what your heart desires. But friends, that is going to do it for the guide on how to get the Titan's Bane, in my eyes the strongest right now weapon in Wayfinder. Let me know if you've got this weapon and what you think of it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you liked the video, feel free to leave a like on it and sub to the channel for more Wayfinder content. Until the next one, take it easy and have a nice day.